evening and welcome to Poland Daily, the first English news program in Poland. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. It seems as if the recent conflict around the LGBT communities in Poland might have boosted the current ruling Law and Justice Party's support, according to political experts. The civic platform's shift to the left to avoid giving votes away to the Liberal Spring Party may have also been the cause for the ruling party gaining supporters.
Following the recent events at the so-called Equality March in Białystok, the conflict surrounding the expansion of the LGBT community became the #1 issue of the parliamentary election campaign.
Wydaje mi się, że w ogóle niedobrze by było,
First of all, I don't think the
kampania
opposition should focus
koncentrowała się
around
wokół
that
tego
conflict.
sporu.
That being said,
Nie daj Boże
horrible things
konfliktu, bo
happened in
rzeczywiście w
Białystok.
Białymstoku
People were
miały
hunted on the streets. It was tragic.
miejsce rzeczy haniebne.
Postępuje ofensywa środowisk LGBT, która
We're witnessing the expanding offensive of the LGBT communities. Religious feelings are being offended, like with the figurines of the Holy Mary. I wouldn't want to entertain such conflicts. It's inappropriate and there are more pressing matters to attend to in Poland than something that is disliked by the majority of the Polish society. According to Grzegorz Długi from the Cookies 15 movement, bringing up the ideological conflict by the opposition is advantageous for the law and justice.
Bardzo się dziwię, że
I'm quite surprised that the far liberal communities are not saying that, and how manifestations and playing politics are more important to them than a concrete program. Instead, they're focusing on events. Almost every day there are reports of new incidents brewing up the conflict around the LGBT ideology in Poland. Tomorrow there will be a march against violence in Białystok organized by the Democratic Left Alliance, connected to the events that transpired in the city during the Equality March last Saturday.
According to the survey conducted by the Social Changes pollster for the wypolitycy.pl website, if the Polish parliamentary elections were to be held today, the United Right coalition would win with 46.4% of the votes. This is the best result in history by this pollster.
The ruling party coalition obtained results 1% higher than the previous survey, while 26.3% of voters would support the Civic Platform Party. The Democratic Left Alliance and the Spring Party would cross the electoral threshold, getting 6.7% and 6.2% of the votes. The Polish People's Party, the Freedom, the Cookies 15 movement and the Together Party would struggle to cross the electoral threshold.
The good weather and calm sea in the Mediterranean has recent days enticed hundreds of migrants to set off from the African coast in their attempts to migrate to Europe. The sea is, however, treacherous, and this year's deadliest accident so far has occurred off the Libyan coast, where up to 150 people drowned on Friday. While Australia has managed to eliminate incidents in its waters by adopting a non-tolerance policy based on turning migrants' boats back, many Western European leaders, and in particular French President Emmanuel Macron, however, insisted on a mandatory EU migrant quota system for all member states.
One of the shipwreck survivors stated that they had to swim for 7 hours before they could be rescued and taken back to shore in Libya. There were 300 of us in the boat, and then water came in. 100 people were rescued, but the rest all died. The women, children and girls all died. Glory to God, we started swimming for almost 7 hours, and then we were rescued by fishermen, almost 100 of us. We have been here for 2 days, and no one has come to get us. Also on Friday, another group of migrants on dinghies were rescued 27 miles off the Libyan coast by the Libyan Coast Guard. We headed out from Coms, heading towards Italy, but there was no luck. We sailed for a day for around 15 or 16 hours. Then they brought us here, and thank God we made it safely. We had no luck, but thank God we made it here safely. Some groups of migrants which also set off from Libya were successful in making it across the Mediterranean. 67 were picked up by the armed forces of Malta and allowed to disembark in the country's capital, Valletta. Meanwhile, the Italian Coast Guard vessel Grigoretti picked up 135 migrants off the coast of Malta. Italian Minister of Interior Matteo Salvini has banned the ship from disembarking them in Italy until other EU states promise to take in some of the migrants on board. The increased activity of the Mediterranean in recent days highlights the fact that the EU, 4 years after the 2015 European migration crisis, still hasn't found a way to dissuade migrants from Africa and the Middle East to attempt dangerous sea crossings to Europe.
The Supreme Court has cleared the way for the Trump administration to tap Pentagon funds to build sections of a border wall with Mexico. This means that Trump's 2016 election campaign promise will be fulfilled. The U.S. president said on Twitter that the court's decision is a great win when it comes to the border safety and the rule of law. The border wall will cost upwards $6.7 billion.
Wow, big victory on the wall. The United States Supreme Court overturns lower court injunction, allows southern border walls to proceed. Big win for border security and the rule of law. They give us the Mexican papers, but we don't have anyone here who can help us. We really don't know how it's going to be here. They want to give us an asylum or something like that. They throw us on the streets. I've been traveling with my son for 1.5 months. We came here on foot, we took a bus, we tried to hitch a ride. The situation is very hard.
Let me go up to the US-Mexico border, I beg you. Please don't let me be taken back. I want to get to the US to provide a better life for my son. I've had to spend a lot of money to get here.
That's it for today. See you next time on Poland Daily. But stay tuned for the Poland Daily Weather Report, followed by the Poland Daily Business section.